Hello, I want you to take a moment and listen to your body. When you stand up in the morning or when you climb a flight of stairs, what do you hear? What do you feel? If you hear clicks, if you feel a deep, stubborn stiffness, or if you experience that dull, persistent ache in your knees, hips, or hands, you are experiencing the results of a systemic fire. You have been told by well-meaning professionals that this is simply osteoarthritis. You have been told it is a case of wear and tear, as if your joints were nothing more than the tires on a car that have reached their mileage limit. I am here to tell you that this is a deeply flawed mechanical analogy that ignores the biological brilliance of the human body. Your body is not a machine made of dead metal and rubber. It is a living, breathing organism capable of constant microscopic repair. If your joints are not repairing themselves, it is not because they are old. It is because your internal biochemistry has been hijacked. My name is Professor Marcus Fischer. Today, we are going to conduct a surgical dismantling of the wear and tear myth. We are going to look past the physical symptoms and investigate the three profound biochemical drivers of joint destruction. If you want to stop the pain, if you want to walk without hesitation, you have to stop the internal process that is dissolving your cartilage and rusting your joints from the inside out. This is a masterclass in joint longevity. Let us begin with the first and most dominant driver of joint pain, chronic hyperinsulinemia. This is the state of having chronically high levels of the hormone insulin in your blood. Most people think insulin is only about blood sugar and diabetes. This is a catastrophic misunderstanding. Insulin is a master signaling hormone, and when it is high, it acts as a powerful pro-inflammatory trigger. Research in the field of molecular biology has shown that high insulin levels stimulate the production of specific inflammatory proteins called cytokines. These cytokines, particularly interleukin-6 and TNF-alpha, act like a chemical acid that specifically targets and degrades the collagen matrix in your joint cartilage. When your insulin is high, your body is locked in growth and storage mode. In this mode, the body is forbidden from entering the repair and cleanup mode known as autophagy. Think about that for a moment. If you are constantly spiking your insulin with sugar, refined starches, bread, and pasta, you are effectively sending a signal to your joints to stop repairing and start inflaming. Your joint pain is not a mystery. It is often the very first outward sign of internal insulin resistance. You cannot heal your joints while your insulin is high. You are trying to put out a fire while simultaneously pouring gasoline on the floor. Now let us move to the second, more insidious driver of joint destruction. I call this the calcium migration crisis. This is a massive failure of mineral metabolism that affects millions as they age. We are told to take calcium supplements for our bones. But here's the question no one asks. Where does that calcium actually go? In a body with a broken metabolism, calcium begins to migrate. It leaves the bones where it belongs, and it starts to deposit in the soft tissues. It deposits in your arteries, leading to heart disease. It deposits in your kidneys, forming stones. And most painfully, it deposits in your joint cartilage and tendons. This is officially known as ectopic calcification. Imagine your joint is a smooth, lubricated hinge. Now imagine someone throws a handful of gritty sand into that hinge. That is what happens when calcium deposits in your joints. It creates physical friction. It creates tiny, needle-like crystals that cause excruciating pain every time you move. You don't need more calcium. In fact, more calcium might be making you worse. What you need is the traffic cop of minerals, vitamin K2. Vitamin K2 is the specific nutrient that activates proteins like osteocalcin and matrix GLA protein. These proteins have one job: to pull calcium out of your joints and arteries and push it back into your skeletal system. Without vitamin K2, calcium is a toxin to your joints. If you are stiff and crunchy, you are likely suffering from a vitamin K2 deficiency and a calcium migration crisis. The third driver of your pain is the omega-6 to omega-3 imbalance. This is a direct result of the industrialization of our food supply. For the vast majority of human history, we consumed a balance of these fatty acids. Today, the modern diet is flooded with industrial seed oils, soybean, corn, cottonseed, and canola oil. These oils are extremely high in omega-6 fatty acids, which are the primary precursors for pro-inflammatory prostaglandins. When your cell membranes are built from these unstable inflammatory oils, your body is in a state of constant high-alert inflammation. This is why your joints feel hot or swollen. You are feeding the fire with every meal. To reverse this, you must engage in a radical nutritional shift. You must eliminate these liquid plastics from your diet and flood your system with high-dose omega-3 fatty acids from fatty fish or high-quality fish oil. Omega-3s produce molecules called resolvins. As the name suggests, they resolve inflammation. They are the natural fire extinguishers of the human body. So how do we put this knowledge into a practical protocol? How do you actually begin to heal? First, you must adopt a low insulin lifestyle. This means an immediate reduction in the sugars and starches that are fueling the cytokine attack on your collagen. This is the foundation of all healing. Second, you must address the calcium problem. You must introduce vitamin K2, specifically the MK7 form, along with vitamin D3 and magnesium. These three nutrients work as a team to decalcify your joints and rebuild your bone density. You will find that as the calcium leaves the soft tissue, the grittiness of your joints begins to vanish. Third, you must change your fat profile. Throw away the seed oils. Embrace stable fats like butter, tallow, and olive oil. Supplement with high-quality omega-3s. You are changing the very chemical makeup of your joint fluid. Finally, we must talk about movement as medicine. Once the biochemical fire is under control, you must move. Cartilage does not have a direct blood supply. It receives its nutrients through a process called imbibition, which is essentially a pumping action caused by movement. Gentle, consistent resistance training and walking are what pump the nutrients into the joint and waste products out. Your joints are not destined to fail you. They are not simply old. They are a reflection of your internal environment. If you provide the right signals, low insulin, the right minerals, and anti-inflammatory fats, your body will do what it was designed to do. It will repair, it will lubricate, and it will heal. Stop accepting the pain as a consequence of time. Time is not the enemy. Inflammation is. Reclaim your mobility. Reclaim your life. It starts with your next meal. Thank you for your time and your attention to this long-form investigation. I am Professor Marcus Fischer, and I will see you in our next deep dive into the magnificent science of the human body. Reclaim your health. It starts now.